Success isn't random. It follows a code. Welcome to the Conant Code, where we break down the strategies, challenge the myths, and uncover the truth in 5 minutes or less. Now, let's crack the code.
Valentine's Day. The holiday of love, red roses, heart-shaped boxes, and chocolate-dipped everything. Every February 14th, billions are spent on gifts meant to symbolize romance. But what if I told you the origins of this celebration were anything but romantic? It didn't start with love notes or bouquets. It began with blood. Go back to ancient Rome, long before Hallmark cards and candy hearts. There was a festival held every February called Lupercalia, a wild, chaotic celebration of fertility. Think less candlelit dinner and more ritual sacrifice. Priests would slaughter goats, cut the hides into strips, and, brace yourself, run through the streets slapping people with them. Yes, really, slapping. With goat skins. It sounds absurd today, but back then it was believed to bring fertility and good fortune. Women actually lined up for it, thinking it would help them conceive. The whole event was loud, rowdy, and definitely not the kind of thing you'd associate with chocolate truffles and candlelight. Fast forward to the 3rd century AD. By now, Rome had traded its pagan gods for Christianity. Emperor Claudius II, an ambitious paranoid ruler, had a bold new policy. He outlawed marriage for soldiers. Claudius believed married men made terrible warriors. Love, in his eyes, was a distraction. But one man disagreed. His name was Valentine, a priest who believed love was sacred, and no emperor's decree could change that. So he did what rebels do. He defied the law. Valentine secretly performed marriages for soldiers and their lovers in dark corners, far from the eyes of Claudius's spies. Of course, secrets never stay hidden for long. Valentine was arrested, imprisoned, and eventually executed for his defiance. But that's where history takes a turn into legend. The story of Valentine the martyr began to spread, blending with other tales of courage and devotion. Some said he healed the sick. Others claimed he left a note for the jailer's daughter, signed, "From your Valentine." In truth, there were likely multiple Valentines, each with their own stories, woven together into one myth. The church, eager to replace the wild festival of Lupercalia with something a bit more wholesome, declared February 14th, St. Valentine's Day. A holiday was born, but not the one we recognize today. For centuries, St. Valentine's Day had nothing to do with love. It was a day of quiet reflection, a religious observance honoring a martyr. Romance was nowhere on the menu. Then, in the late Middle Ages, something strange happened. The poet Geoffrey Chaucer, yes, that Chaucer, also known as the father of English literature, he wrote a poem about birds choosing their mates on Valentine's Day. The idea caught on. Suddenly, February 14th became associated with courtly love, knights and ladies, and handwritten love notes. Fast forward again to the 19th century, when a new kind of industry was on the rise: mass production. Enterprising merchants saw an opportunity. They began printing Valentine cards and marketing them as the perfect way to express your love, without the inconvenience of writing it yourself. By the early 20th century, Valentine's Day had fully reinvented itself. No more martyrdom, no more fertility rites. Now it was a holiday of romance, lavish gifts, and grand gestures. The wild, chaotic festival became a perfectly packaged commercial event. Love, it seemed, was something you could buy for $19.99, a dozen roses, and a heart-shaped box of chocolates. But here's the real twist. Valentine's Day didn't just reinvent itself once. It's done it over and over again, from pagan fertility rites to Christian martyrdom to medieval poetry to modern consumerism. It's not a fixed tradition. It's a shapeshifter, a cultural chameleon, adapting to the times and reflecting what society wants most. And that's what makes it fascinating. The lesson? Reinvention is powerful. It's how we survive. Traditions, ideas, even industries, those that can adapt to the changing world thrive. Those that can't, they fade into history, like Lupercalia's goatskin rituals. So the next time you think something is fixed, permanent, or untouchable, remember Valentine's Day. What's outdated today might become tomorrow's billion-dollar industry. What feels sacred now might be reshaped into something new entirely. The key isn't holding on to the past, it's knowing when to let go and when to evolve. And that, my friends, is the Conant Code.
That's it for this episode of the Conant Code. If you got something out of it, share it with a friend, follow the show, and leave a review on your favorite podcast platform. More insights, more strategies, and more code breaking coming soon. Until next time, keep thinking, keep building, and keep pushing forward.